Thanks, everybody. Welcome back to the afternoon session. So we're ready to go. I hope you enjoyed going into those sort of table rooms. I've just seen in the chat, don't forget, we've got Tom from Gilmartin's in the rooms as well, if you want to go and chat about any of the works, that the opportunities in that company. Our next speaker is from PW Coaching. Quite excited to hear what Peter Weaver has to say about the work that he's able to do and the help that he's able to offer everyone. So thanks, Peter. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Damon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm on the first one, the afternoon slot. Great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm pleased to have listened to everything this morning. My session is going to be slightly different, actually. I've got 10 to 12 minutes or so, and I aim to give you something to take away with you, which is basically some coaching advice and some CV advice. A bit about myself. I was in the public sector for a number of years in various roles, and in the recent years involved in a lot of coaching. And then 3 years ago, I set up my own coaching practice, and I deliver coaching, training, and CV services to individuals. I also work with apprentices and people in prison, delivering functional skills, training to them as well, and helping them with the next stages of their lives in whatever way that would be. Like many of you, I've been through personal changes in my life, which has helped me help others. And I very much am experienced in coaching. I very much like helping others through change. That's kind of a bit of background from me. As I'm going through, if you want to check a question up, that's fine by me, and I'll answer them in the live chat as we're doing, in the live session now. I'll also be around for the 12:45 session as well. So feel free to ask any questions. So coaching. What is coaching? So coaching is a forward-looking process whereby you use a formal structure to help you make decisions and actually make some progress going forward in your life. It is not a backwards-looking process. It's not counseling or therapy. Obviously, some elements of that sometimes comes in. It's a forward-looking thing. And there's no mystique about it. Everything I'm going to talk about today is open source on the internet. Type in coaching and you'll recognize what I'm going to talk about. Basically, the first principle of coaching is to identify some goals. What do you want to do? And for some people, this can be the hardest thing they do. I want to change my job. I want to get a job. I want to set up my own business in 10 years, or I want to walk 2 miles by the end of September. Goals can really vary. And for some people, actually working out what they want to do can be the hardest bit of the process. And all I'll say to you is give yourself time to do so. And the fact you are here today on this fantastic event, giving yourself time to work on yourself and make some changes and some new steps forward is excellent. I ask you to do the same going forward. And sometimes we have to actually be quite formal about that. And by that, I mean, set some time aside. If you're like a person who likes to use diaries, electronic or not, or calendars, or whatever, and say, right, tomorrow I'm going to sit down for half an hour and give some time to me, because too often we don't, do we? We're looking after family, friends, dealing with our current work, being stressed about something, sorting out the pandemic issues, doing stuff around the house. Stuff takes over. Give yourself time. And if nothing else from this little session, give yourself time. You're doing it now, and do it again in the future. And give yourself time to think about your goals. What do I want to do? And they can be big, they can be small. And when we're thinking about goals, don't be vague. We have a phrase called make them smart, make them specific to actually identify something you want to go for. Make them measurable, have some type of quantity in there. Make them achievable. Can you do them? Make them realistic and give them some time element. So for example, you might decide I'm going to apply for 5 jobs by the end of September 2021. So that is specific, it's measurable, there's 5 jobs in there. It is achievable to apply for 5 jobs. Notice I haven't said you're going to get 5 interviews or you're going to get 5 jobs. Some of that is outside your control. That is with the employer's control or with the recruitment person's control. But you can still apply for them, so it's achievable for you. It's realistic. If we say 50 jobs, that's not realistic. If we said 1 job, that's a bit underachieving. So 5 is good. And it's timely, there's a time element. So when you're thinking about your goals, make them smart. So once we've identified some goals, then look at where you are now. What's the reality of where you are now? It might include things like what qualifications have I got at the moment? What experience have I got? What are the views of my partner, of my family? What about my location? Do I need to think about finances? Do I need to look at what income the household needs I need? All these things. So look at the reality of where you are now, because that will then drive your options. So let's look at ways forward. Let's look at options. Let's look at what roles are out there. What jobs can I apply for? What contacts am I making? And today you're making some contacts already. So look at the various options going forward, and also think of things like, have I got a CV? I'll come on to that in a minute. Have I got 2 people who act as references? Because should you be successful in a job application, and many of you will be from today, at some point in the process, that employer is going to say, can you please provide me with 2 referees, please? And you don't want to be surprised about that. You want to think to yourself, right, who are 2 people from either my current work or my previous experience, or in some way connect with me, who can be honest about me and say some positive things about me. So these are all things that we need to think about in our options. And then we have a way forward. Right, so let's think about the way forward, like a little action plan. And if we're going for jobs, we may need to actually start at basic. Let's do some research and find some roles I'm interested in, and so on. That's coaching, setting your goals, looking at the reality of where you are now, looking at the options going forward, and then working out a way forward. And keep on reviewing that and working it around. So that's a crash course in coaching. And if you type in coaching, life coaching or career coaching on the internet, you'll find the GROW model worldwide. Sometimes it's very slightly different phrase. Sometimes people put an extra bit at the beginning or at the end. It's basically the same thing. And you can do it with yourself, but you can also do it with a friend. And in my view, coaching can help you because it gives direction. It gives you a strategy, a plan to work out your changes. And if you do coaching with somebody, be it someone formal like myself, or with a friend or a mentor in some way, you've got that critical, supportive friend who can actually say to you, right, have you done that research? And it gives structure and it gives you accountability to yourself. If also you've got a critical friend helping you through the process, then you've got that accountability. It makes you do the work. It's like going to Weight Watchers or going to a guitar teacher in my case, or going to a sports physiotherapist or personal trainer, because you're seeing somebody, you know you've got to do the work. The same thing applies with coaching. Work on yourself and have some structure to it. So that's the crash course in coaching. So let's talk briefly about CVs. So CVs, I've written many CVs for people and helped many people update their CVs and go through application processes. Most important things about a CV, they're a means to an interview. That is the purpose of them. And always have that in your head. They are not a record of your whole life. There are certain things that need to go into a CV. We need to know a job history throughout, but they're not an in-depth record of everything, because you won't get it on 2 sides. Remember, a CV is just 2 sides of A4. It's a means to the interview. And also, we need to be showing our transferable skills on the CV. Remember that a CV is selling you. You need to aim it at the role you're going for. And by that I mean, we don't just write a general CV and send out 50 copies by email, by post to lots of companies. It won't work. Your CV has to be aimed at the role you're going for. And how do you do that? Well, when you're looking at the role you're going for, you have a look at the role profile. What are the essential criteria? There may be 5 essential criteria, there may be 15 essential criteria. Make sure a good proportion are represented in your CV. And don't repeat the language exactly, just be sensible and just try and get your CV to show your transferable skills so you hit that essential criteria. Remember, your CV is going to be read along with many other CVs. So those first few lines in if the top section you're calling your personal summary section, we really need to be selling. You need to be selling yourself in those first 2 or 3 lines. What 2 things are you good at? Don't be modest. CVs are not a place to be modest, but you need to be honest, and you need to be able to back up every sentence you write, just in case an interviewer asks you about a sentence during the interview, or later on they do some due diligence on you and say, you said yourself about this in your CV, but where is that true? So your CV has to be honest, but don't be modest. The same principles apply to application forms, okay? A CV, writing about yourself and showing transferable skills, the same skills. So if you have an online application form where you have to fill in certain sections, the same principles apply. Show your transferable skills, aiming at the role you're going for with reference to the role profile. And lastly, if you are applying somewhere often, especially if it is via email or by post, you'll be doing a covering email or covering letter, or a cover letter for short. A cover letter is normally just on one side of A4. And again, you need to be selling yourself on that cover letter. Where did you hear about the job? Why are you so interested in the job? What things can you bring to the job? And that same principle applies to email. Use these means to sell yourself. And it is quite a knack, and lots of people find it difficult sometimes talking about themselves and actually selling themselves, and something to have a little practice really with, have a little practice. Super. So I've whizzed through some things very quickly. I've talked about coaching, and it's something you can do yourself. Identify some goals, and this applies to all of us. So it's not just people on this call today who are looking at changing their job role or looking for a new job after a period of unemployment. It's also my friends and colleagues on here from other parts of work. They may have something in mind they want to do in their personal life. The same principle apply. Set a goal. Make sure it's smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Look at the reality of where you are now. Look at the options and then a way forward and those little steps, and work your forward to that goal. And your CV, the CV, remember, it's a means to an interview. It needs to represent you and show your transferable skills for that role. Fantastic. I've planned for that. I've never 12 minutes. Okay, so if you want to get in touch with me, I'll put some bits in the little chat on the right-hand side. Basically, go to my website, www.pwcoaching.co.uk, and I'll put my email address and Facebook link on there as well. Okay. Lovely to speak to you. Lovely to be here. I'll be here for the 12:45 chat. If anyone got a quick question now, I'm more than happy to have it. Damon, thank you very much.
Sorry, thank you, Peter. Lots of great information there, and some good tips. That some of those tips I've used myself in the past for job searching, so very good. As you said, Peter will be available for a chat in one of the tables later on. So thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.
The next organisation we've got is Ian Williams Limited, and our presenters for that is Aston and I think Ingrid are going to talk about their company. And steal their fund. I'll let them go. And thanks, Ingrid. Thanks, Aston.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for inviting us, and thank you for the opportunity to come and talk. Aston, I don't know if you've got your camera on at the bottom because we can't see you there.
It should be now.
There we go. Okay. We're a duo, the dynamic duo. I'll hand over to Aston to start.
Thanks, Ingrid, and thanks, Damon, for today. I just want to talk to everyone a little bit about the opportunities that we have at the minute with Ian Williams, or within Ian Williams. So we're doing a lot of work in the local area, and as a result, we've got a lot of vacancies for painters, really, painters and decorators. And obviously we're doing all of this in conjunction with Red Kite Community Housing. Could have the next slide, please. So I'm Aston Hamilton. I'm the business manager. My office as such, my unit is based in Northwest London. I've got my mobile number and my email address there. If anyone wants to take a note and drop me a line or give me a call about anything we're about to cover. I've been with Ian Williams now for about a year. I've always worked in the construction industry. And like I say, this is mainly painting and decorating that we're looking for, and we have the vacancies within. And with me is Ingrid.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm one of the recruitment officers for Ian Williams. I've got over 30 years recruitment experience, and as Aston says, we're really looking to try and fill the vacancies, working in conjunction with Red Kite, but also around we've got positions nationally. So we've got the recruitment email there, as well as the telephone number and my number. Please, we're going to be available in the chats afterwards. If you are looking for work, we would love to be able to help. Next slide, please, Lee.
So Ian Williams, just to sort of give everyone a little bit of a background on us. So we're one of the UK's largest privately owned property service companies. We're a leader in the field. We're at the forefront of delivering planned and responsive services to all sorts of businesses, really. The company is one of the largest painting contractors, of which I'm a part. And in the UK, we work with a lot of high-profile clients across the whole housing sector. I mean, we cover retirement, homes, education, major complex loss, public buildings, all sorts of commercial businesses. So we're far-reaching, really. Within Ian Williams themselves, we have separate functions. So I'm in the painting department. We've got a capital department who look after sort of major building works and refurbishments. We've also got a response part of the business who do sort of reactive works to emergencies and that sort of thing. We're well established. We've been working hard even throughout our COVID lockdowns, and I think credit to the business, we've managed to retain all our staff. We've lost no one through redundancies or any cutbacks as a result of the pandemic. And I think that's credit to the business and the way the business runs and the way the business looks after its people. Next slide, please. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the company's values itself. So we have a vision, we have a mission statement, and we have a value statement. Our vision is to be the go-to property service partner that is truly committed, always innovative, and provides fantastic value through its great local teams, leading to a business that benefits stakeholders, all stakeholders. Our mission statement, I think, is something that is really reflective of the company. And our mission statement is a company that's loved by its employees and customers. Like I said, I've been with the business now 12 months. I started during lockdown, and I can honestly say in my sort of 25 plus years in the construction industry, they're the best business I've been with as far as looking after its employees and its customers go. And I mean that genuinely. I've known lots of friends, family and acquaintances who've been moved on by businesses during the pandemic. Ian Williams has managed to hold on to everyone. And I have to say they do engage with all their employees and their customers, and you do feel part of it's a family owned business, and I think you do almost feel part of the family. Our values, everything we do is done with honesty, commitment, and integrity. We behave to others as we would have them behave to us. And being a great employer, that puts the well-being of people above all else. We will ensure they flourish and grow. And again, I can honestly say, hand on heart, that value statement rings very true. I have found them as employers to be willing to invest in good people, and people that work hard do get rewarded. There's a lot of integrity within the company. We're very transparent with both our clients and with our employees. And I think everything we do is with the the employee and the client at the forefront of our thoughts. Next slide, please.
Right, this is my slide. Okay, so currently for Red Kite specifically, we're looking for 16 painters. Now, when we say we're looking for 16 painters, we're looking for people that are either qualified to NVQ level 2 or similar professional body, or they've demonstrated time served. So you're looking about 5 years experience plus. These people will need excellent customer service skills because obviously we're working in housing associations, and we need to keep our standards very high. So we expect people that have the same high standards, and we adhere to those values that Aston referred to. And a majority of them will need a full current UK driver's license, and I'll tell you why. Because, for example, we have the Shepherd's Bush area where we don't need driver's license. People can get public transport, but for the surrounding areas, people will need a driver's licenses. Yeah, basically, we if you have any painting experience or you have our NVQ2 leveled, please later give us a shout, come and talk to us, and we can tell you more about that. With the next slide, please, Lee.
Okay, just to sort of touch on what Ingrid said, I've tried to sort of show the main areas we work within. So again, like Ingrid touched on, we have do a lot of work around sort of northwest London, so around sort of Wembley, Shepherd's Bush, towards central London. Having said that, it's not exclusive to that. Because we do a lot of work with schools, for example, we can do some in East London, South London. It does sort of dot around, really. At the moment, our focus as far as recruitment goes is mainly in the top area that's highlighted. So again, we're looking around High Wycombe, Watford, Rickmansworth. Anyone that's within commutable distance of that area can hopefully help us fulfill our need for 16 painters. We've got the chat option, so please get in touch with us. We'll be in all the breakout sessions from quarter to the hour to the hour. If you could please just join us, and by all means, any questions you have, we'll be more than happy to answer. Next slide, please, Lee.
Okay. What we're really trying to commit to as well at Ian Williams is that proper flexible working hours, and this applies to so many people that, for example, term times childcare, as you can see there, we want people to be able to work flexible hours. We're looking at about 30 hours a week, and if, for example, people are near retirement age but still want to work but don't want to do the full 39 hours a week, we're really happy to talk to people that want to do their lesser hours. Aston was joking about if you want to play golf on a Friday or have a gym membership, but you only wanted to work Monday to Thursday. We are open, and we really are dedicated to real flexible working hours and part-time hours available. So for the mums out there, as long as you've got the painting experience or the qualification, or anybody that wants to be able to work flexible hours, we are committed to providing those. Next slide, please. Okay. This is sorry, Aston, you take over.
Yeah, I was just going to say, actually, Ingrid's going to talk to you about the pay and benefits that we have.
Right. So our pay and benefits, so we are guaranteed weekly payments. So 39 hours a week, you are guaranteed that if you're not working flexible hours. Okay, we have a productivity-based bonus scheme, which everybody is entitled to, and obviously, and the targets are achievable. We have annual pay reviews, and we have 22 working days leave per year that are paid, as well as your bank holidays. We have enhanced maternity and paternity, industry sick pay, and regular training and performance reviews. We are really committed to promoting from within the company. So, for example, our MDs our MD started as a trainee surveyor. So we really want to move people within the company. So as long as you've got the right values and behaviors, we will do anything to facilitate moving upwards. Next slide, please. Oh, sorry, forgot about pension contributions. Funding towards job relevant qualifications, we do that. Preferred company supplier trade discounts, which we have with a lot of our, not only from the painting decorating on the other side as well, and access to EAP, which is supporting wealth and health and well-being, which not only applies to you, but your families as well. We really believe that you've got to be of right, sound mind and body to work. And so we have access to that as well. Next slide, please, Lee. Over to you.
Our business it's nationwide. It's national business. So we're in England and some depots or units as well in Wales. And I've just put that slide up there just so people understand that whilst I've used the phrase, or you've heard use the phrase, it's a family business. It's not just a business. We're truly are a national company with some quite large national clients. Next slide, please. This is some of the clients that we work with in North London. So obviously we've got a Red Kite Community Housing. So that's a project that we've just started with, hence the need to recruit. That's going to be a long-term project for up to 5 years and hopefully more. Hopefully the partnership will endure the test of time. We work with a lot of other clients, some of them very prestigious. We've got the Harrow International School, which I'm sure you all know of, Harrow in Eton. Eton was another one of our clients. Voyage Care, Anchor Hanover, who deal with sort of sheltered housing and housing for the elderly. First Port, McCarthy Stone, Shepherd's Bush, another housing association. That's just a few of the businesses we work on. We have literally, as a business, a wider business, we literally deal with hundreds of schools, hundreds of associations. We truly are a national company. Next slide, please.
Okay, right. This is just
No, go ahead.
Right. And what we really, again, we talk about our vacancies as careers, and please, we've got the website address there. Please, if you go onto our website address, and just if you click onto Ian Williams and go to careers, you'll be able to see that all the positions, the vacant positions, and they change daily because we're constantly growing. So if you are interested not only in painting and decorating, like Aston said, we do capital, so we look for carpenters, multi-trades people. Please go to our website and have a look at the jobs available, and obviously click to apply.
Yeah, and I think it's worth reinforcing that, although, today my main focus was on the painting vacancies we have. We do have multiple vacancies company-wide, from everything from surveyors to site managers to contracts managers to business managers. Lots of vacancies, the company's grown in lots of areas. Please get in touch. We're always looking for good people, and we're happy to invest in them.
We've just had a question from Daljit asking if would we consider apprenticeships, and yes, we have an award-winning apprentice scheme. However, our apprentices have just kicked in, so from September we've got 36 apprentices that we actually had to choose from 2,000 that have started. So unfortunately, we're not apprenticeships aren't available until the next interviewing for next August. But yes, we do apprenticeships, and it's all on the website as well. Thank you for the question, Daljit.
And I think that's about us time-wise. I think we'll probably be handing you over to Damon again. But please get in touch. Pleasure, Daljit.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for that presentation. It's always nice to hear someone talking so lovely about an organisation they work with. And in these times, the flexibility for various things is quite important. So thanks for your time here. And as I'll reiterate, they'll be in a table later on if you want to have some questions that we didn't cover, or something that you're really pressing you want to ask. Thanks, Aston. Thanks, Ingrid. Our next presentation is for Peter from the Army RLC 167 Catering Support Regiment. So when Peter's ready to go. And if just while we're waiting, there's we've had some people put in the chat about positions that they're looking to find, such as hospitality and well, no, we've got catering coming on, but local restaurants. We did have an organisation ready to partake today in hospitality, but unfortunately, due to staff shortages, they weren't able to attend today. So what we'll do, if you want to email us at jobfair@Red Kite Housing, any questions, we can put you in touch with some of our local partners. Here we go. Peter, you ready there now?
Yeah, I'm just switching the camera on.
Okay, man.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. You're ready to go.
I don't think my camera's going to kick in.
That's fine. We've got the presentation.
It's unavailable.
That's good.
I'll just
Thanks,
continue
Peter.
without it, if that's okay.
Cheers. Thank you, mate.
Right. My name is Peter McAlinden. I'm part of the recruiting department within 167 Catering Support Regiment, Royal Logistical Corps. We are a reserve army unit, which means that we're part-time soldiers, but working within a professional environment. And our main aim is to support the regular army on operations and on exercises. I just want to quickly thank Red Kite for giving us this opportunity to come on here and promote ourselves. Lee, if you could click a slide for us, and I'll show a promotional video of what the regiment's all about.
We train you as a soldier first and a chef second.
We're a regiment of chefs. We're unique in what we do. There is no other regiment that ultimately has a catering role within the British forces.
I love cooking, so 167 it's got to be.
We are the only armed reserve unit in the British Army that offer catering support to the regular soldiers.
It's made up of both civilian chefs and people who are only military qualified. They will teach you completely from scratch to cook. I've gone from being an interested amateur to being a Class 1 chef within the space of 3 years.
As an individual in the reserves, there's so much opportunity for you to develop yourself.
You work hard, but you just meet some of the best people you'll ever meet anywhere. And you can experience so many different things that you'd never get the opportunity to do as a civilian. The opportunities for sport are fairly immense.
I competed skiing, I competed shooting for the regiment.
Done triathlons with them. I've been mountain biking, I've been sailing.
It's an amazing opportunity to just meet new people. And if you are shy, if you're not quite sure on how you want to approach something, the Army really will bring it out of you.
What we care about is people's attitude. If they want to give something a go, we'll encourage them, we'll mentor them, we'll coach them to be able to do that.
I was 12 years as a regular soldier. Coming to 167 was just something which I could control, work it around my family life. If I wanted to do something, I could, and if I didn't, I didn't have to, which is something very different to the regular service.
We have so much opportunity to travel around the world.
I've done 3 operational tours. I volunteered to do all of those tours because I wanted to serve my country and do my bit around the world. Spent 6 months in Cyprus. I've had 2 tours of Afghanistan, one in Nara Siraj, one of 6 months in Kabul.
If you're really interested in joining reserves, and most importantly 167 Cape Support Regiment, the only regiment of chefs in the British Army, contact us. We've got a really friendly team that will answer any questions you have.
It's really hard work, but it's also massively rewarding.
Yeah, next slide, please, Lee. Yes, I'll never fit all this into the 10 minutes, so please join us at the table afterwards. I've got a lot of information to give out for those that may well be interested. The contents of what I'm going to speak about: what is the Army Reserve, who we are, what we do, Army fitness, basic military training, catering within the Army, and other opportunities open to our soldiers within the Reserve Forces. Next slide, please, Lee. Right, what we are, the Army Reserve. We're part-time soldiers working alongside the regular Army. We're trained to the regular Army standards. We use regular Army equipment. We earn regular Army rates of pay and get paid for all the training that we do. We also serve at home and abroad. Next slide, please. 167. 167 Catering Support Regiment is an Army Reserve Regiment. We are the only Army unit within the British Army that's made up entirely of chefs. Chefing is what it's all about for us. As a member of the reserves, we're both soldiers and tradesmen, tradeswomen. The Army always say you're a soldier first, your trade comes second. We support the armed forces in exercises and operations at home and abroad. And really, the Reserve Army is a taste of the armed services without the full commitment. Within 167, we are what's called a national unit, so we recruit from all over the UK. I'm off down to Wales next week to do a bit of recruiting down in Wales. The minimum amount of days you have to do with a national unit like 167 is 19 days a year. So you only have to do 19 days training, dependent on what job you're doing, civilian street and time off requirements, etc. Within that 19 days, there'll be 2 training weekends. One will be a chefy type training weekend, and the other weekend will be a military event, military training, followed by a 16-day training camp. That training camp comes under various different guises. It could be a course, a technical course, a management course. It could be 16 days out feeding the troops. It could be at home and abroad. We've just come back from Scotland, where 167 have just completed their 16-day camp. The year before that, we were in Cyprus, and the year before that, we were in Gibraltar for the 16 days. Next slide, please, Lee. The Royal Logistical Corps, that's where the chefs in 167 slide in. It's a very large corps, and it's full of many different trades, as you can see from the slide. So the chef fits nicely into there. Next slide, please, Lee. Basic training for young soldiers. It's all changed now due to COVID. It starts with a foundation course over 1 week with 2 days distance learning at the end of that. It then goes on to an 8-week period, which is a mixture of face-to-face and a mixture of virtual training. You can also do a week slot in between those 8 weeks where you can come to an army barracks and do 7 days continuous training during that event. And it ends up with a soldier's battle camp over 14 days. And after you've done that soldier's battle camp, you'll be a fully trained soldier. These 3 modules, they don't fall in one after the other. They have to be booked, and it'll probably take a period of 6, 7 or 8 months, depending on your work in Civvy Street and time off, etc. Next slide, please, Link. That's just another reminder there of the different training that we do. Next slide, please, Link. That's just some of the activities that take part during your basic training. Next slide, please, Link. Army Fitness and the Army Assessment Centre. People worry about fitness within the military. I don't really think it's something you have to worry about. And that just shows you the basic fitness standards. You have to do a run in 11 minutes 30 seconds, which is 2 kilometres long. There's a medicine ball throw. If you've got to throw a medicine ball 2.7 metres in distance, and there's a mid-thigh pull where you have to lift 50 kgs up. Nothing very difficult. Next slide, please, Link. Trade training. This is a chef training. We do have our own catering school here at Grantham in Lincolnshire, where the regiment is based. That trade training is a 16-day course, which consists of 1 day's food hygiene, 9 days classical culinary skills, and 6 days field catering. The field catering being the main thing, as that's our main tool when we're out feeding the troops on exercise. I think I've run out of my time here. I don't want to overshoot things. I've got a lot of information to give out. Anyone that's interested, please come to my table and we'll continue the conversation there. Back to you, Damien.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for interesting presentation. As Peter said, we'll go to the tables very shortly, and you can have that sort of personal conversation. We have, just before we go to the tables, we have a video from a local organisation, housing organisation, that they've provided. Unfortunately, they won't be at a table, so it's just to see opportunities that they have to work with them. And if you want to get in contact, please do. So over to you, Lee, and then we'll go over to tables.
Providing homes to people who need them the most. You can find our latest vacancies by going to www.latestvacancies.com/Paradigm Housing. We strive to be an employer of choice. We're proud to have been awarded a 1-star accreditation by Best Companies in 2021. Formed through the first large-scale voluntary transfer from a local authority in 1989, we now have 15,000 properties across Buckinghamshire, Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire and the surrounding counties. We have just over 480 employees across 4 locations, with our head office in Woburn Green, Buckinghamshire. We are an ambitious and growing organisation, having recently completed the sector's largest stock swap. We are also embarking on a significant transformation programme, which will enhance both our customer and our employee experience. We have a competitive range of benefits designed to support your well-being financially, mentally and physically. Some of these are shown on the slide. Others include a competitive car lease scheme and a hybrid working approach. Some of our vacancies are shown on this page. You can find our latest vacancies by going to www.latestvacancies.com/Paradigm Housing.